So, good morning. I would like to welcome you in our joint event from Tech to Transformation, Accelerating Building Energy Efficiency through ICT Solutions. This is a joint event among 3 European projects, ENERGATE and FORTESIE, which are live program projects, and FORTESIE, which is a Horizon 2020 project. So let me first introduce myself. I'm Katerina Papapostoglou. I'm an electrical and computer engineer of the National Technical University of Athens, and I'm currently a research associate and project manager in the Decision Support Systems Laboratory in NTUA. And my scientific interests fall into the areas of energy, environmental policy, and planning and decision support systems. So I have a 10-year experience in EU-funded projects. And I'm really happy that I'm here and I will moderate this discussion today. So yeah, some practical information about today's event. First of all, please be sure that your microphone is muted in order not to interrupt the speakers with background noise, etc. And of course, in case you have any question, basically we encourage you to have questions in order to to have a more fruitful discussion. So in this case, you can use the chat function. You can pose your question in the chat, and during the second session that we have, which is the panel discussion, we can answer one by one if we have time, and yeah, have exchange of ideas based on your support. In terms of technical things, if you have any problem with your connection, etc., you can have your technical questions in the chat, and our colleague Roberta will help you and support you and solve your problems. And of course, I would like to inform you that this presentation, this event, is being recorded, and we will make the video available and also the presentations a couple of weeks after the end of this meeting. So here is the agenda of our event. Mainly the scope of this event is to talk about energy efficiency in buildings and smart tools and business models and smart energy services that will help the acceleration of energy efficiency in buildings and building renovations. So as you know, the building sector is one of the highest consumer in the European Union. We have also this updated energy efficiency directive that introduces a series of measures in order to help the acceleration of energy efficiency. And of course, we have specific targets for reducing the final energy consumption, but implementing and investing in energy efficiency projects in buildings is a complex decision-making process. It involves different kind of stages and stakeholders. So we're here in order to discuss about this, to present different services and tools that can be replicated by different kinds of stakeholders that are all involved in the value chain of sustainable building renovation. Put emphasis, of course, on ICT tools and platforms. So, focus on specific technologies such as blockchain, artificial intelligence, machine learning, smart energy services, and discuss, of course, the challenges that the 3 projects have identified. Discuss on several issues such as legal issues for some technologies, or integration issues or data collection issues, and of course answer to your questions. So we will start our first session with the presentation of the tools and the services of the 3 projects, and then we will have this fruitful, I hope, panel discussion. So our first speaker is Ms. Ioanna Andreoulaki. She is a researcher at Decision Support Systems Laboratory of the School of Electrical and Computer Engineering at NTUA. She is an electrical and computer engineer, And her research interests include energy efficiency, sustainable investments in building sector, integration of smart technologies in energy services, and decision support systems and multi-criteria decision-making methods. So she's involved in European projects in the field of energy and the environment. She's going to present us the ENERGATE project, which is developing an energy efficiency marketplace that accelerates building renovation. So Ioana, the floor is yours. I will stop sharing.
Hello, everyone. Thank you, Katerina, for introducing me. I hope you can see my screen now.
Yes, we can.
Great. And now you can see the presentation in full screen.
Exactly.
Great. So today I will give you an overview of the ENERGATE project. Here you can see the contents of the presentation. So we will start with describing the scope of the project. So ENERGATE is a project of the LIFE program co-funded by the European Union, and it envisions to create an ICT-enabled platform that will facilitate stakeholders involved in energy efficiency financing by providing them with a user-friendly environment where they can interact in a comfortable, easy, and optimal manner. So the ENERGATE consortium consists of 12 partners, 12 organizations across Europe, and several of them have experience and expertise in various aspects of energy efficiency investments and energy efficiency projects in general. So the objectives of the ENERGATE project is to create a standardized facility for renovation projects, to enable appropriate and automated aggregation and packaging of energy efficiency investments, to allow feedback loops to monitor the impact of energy efficiency projects, and to match various professionals, organizations, and businesses that can collaborate in the context of renovation projects. So the challenge that ENERGATE is trying to face is the fact that building stakeholders and financing stakeholders have different needs, different interests, and face several barriers when it comes to energy efficiency investments. So on one hand, building stakeholders might be unaware of the benefits of energy efficiency projects and discouraged by the complexity of the procedures, and they might not be able to execute interventions that will upgrade the energy performance of their buildings because of the fact that they are unable to find the appropriate financial solutions to fund their endeavors. On the other hand, financing stakeholders look for promising investment opportunities, but there are uncertainties. There is lack of standardized processes in these domains. So this also discourages them from engaging in energy efficiency investments. So there is a knowledge and communication gap between the two sides, and ENERGATE envisions to bridge that gap. Specifically, to face those challenges, it is necessary to assist building owners and building managers to find the appropriate technical support and to help them make decisions in the context of energy efficiency upgrades of their assets. And it is necessary to assist stakeholders in the financing community by helping them access information on potential energy efficiency investments. And this can all be done in a controlled, automated, and standardized environment. That is to say, a sort of energy efficiency marketplace, a platform where all the stakeholders can cooperate through predefined procedures. So the process of ENERGATE is divided in 4 main stages. During the zero stage, the users provide their information to register in the platform, and during the fetch stage, they define the information of the energy efficiency projects. So there are predefined information entries for them to define the projects in a very user-friendly and standardized manner. And in process stage, the aggregation and matchmaking process is conducted. That is to say that the financing stakeholders can review many energy efficiency projects that need to be financed, and they can compare them. They can see aggregates of these projects that have been produced based on the identified similarities between them. And on the last stage, on the deliver stage, after the project has been executed, there are various measurement and verification methodologies and other benefits from the projects that are being monitored, so that the success of the project can be evaluated, and feedback can be provided on the services that were offered in the context of the energy efficiency project. So the primary target groups of ENERGATE are those that provide the information on the energy efficiency projects and those that aim to invest in them. So we have building owners that represent managers, owners, developers of private buildings, public bodies that are mainly represented by municipalities, implementers that are those who actually design and execute the energy efficiency project, and financiers that provide financial support to be able to proceed with the deployment of the designed projects. So what these users can do in the platform, building owners can provide the information of the building. They can also see how other buildings have managed to improve their energy performance in the past, based on the ENERGATE database that contains information on already implemented projects that have been provided by the pilot organizations of ENERGATE. They can search for experts that can help them design and deploy the energy efficiency project. They can search for financing partners, and they might also become part of a larger project through the aggregation process that ENERGATE enables. As far as implementers are concerned, they can find buildings that they can help to improve their energy performance. They can also add their own buildings from external clients so as to find financial support for the projects, and they can extract well-structured offers describing the project so that they can be presented to the financiers. And as far as financiers are concerned, they can declare the criteria to select and evaluate energy efficiency projects. And therefore, the output that the platform provides to them is a list of projects that match their preferences and that are prioritized based on how important various criteria are for them. And as far as public bodies are concerned, they can also create building profiles, and this enables them to notify implementers and financiers in the platform. And this allows these stakeholders to prepare for the public procurement process in a better way. Public bodies can also see how similar buildings have been renovated in the past. And this is the most important services that the platform provides to the 4 types of users. So In ENERGATE, we have already created the first version of the platform, and here you can see some indicative screenshots from the user interface. And the platform is now in the testing phase, so it is being tested by our pilot organizations, and very soon, most probably in July, it will also be available publicly for other stakeholders to join and add their energy efficiency projects. And here you can see some of the services that are offered by ENERGATE. I have already explained most of them. So it is the matchmaking process between the different stakeholders, buildings and implementers, and projects and financiers. The aggregation process that bundles different energy efficiency investments based on their similarities. The proposals on suitable funding mechanisms that are provided to public bodies, the support of the decision-making process based on what has been on best practices as they have been identified by previous renovation projects, and the deliver stage, which is the monitoring of the results of the energy efficiency project. The ENERGATE expects to have a significant impact when it comes to triggered energy savings and investments. The platform will be tested in 6 countries where the 5 pilot organizations of ENERGATE are based. These organizations represent different market actors that are involved in the energy efficiency value chain, and they represent both the private and public buildings. And also they represent both Group A, building stakeholders, and Group B, financial stakeholders. So we have also several results that have ensued from our various activities in the project and our research that you can explore in our website. We also have some videos demonstrating all those services that I have described to you for each one of the users. And if you want to, you can scan this QR code. It leads to a survey that we have developed, and it helps us improve the energy efficiency services that are provided by the platform. It helps us identify the needs of the market actors. And yes, we will be very happy if you take some time. It's no more than 10 minutes to complete the survey after the event is over. So thank you very much for your attention. And I give the floor back to Katerina.
Thank you very much, Ioanna, for being on time, for your nice presentation, and for giving us an overview of what both sides need, the building side and the financing side, in order to accelerate the investments in building renovation. And I saw that you had also this QR code. In case anyone would like to join the survey, you can put also the link to the chat, or yeah. For it's an easiest way. So let me share again my screen in order to move on to the next. Okay, presentation mode. So who's next? Next is Francisco Puente, who is a general manager in Escan Energy, an advising firm with experience in the sustainable energy sector. Supporting utilities, industries, and the public sector in their energy needs. Francisco is primarily focused in supporting the organization energy transition towards more efficient systems, improving their business models. And he's here today in order to present us the solution, the business models of the InEExS project, which is related to innovative energy efficiency service models for sector integration via the blockchain. So, Francisco, The floor is yours. You can share your screen and go ahead.
Katerina.
Thank you.
Okay, good morning. First of all, I would like to thank Katerina and the rest of the organizing team for the kind invitation to participate in this webinar. Also, I have to say that probably the heading or the name of this project is quite difficult to understand, because we mix a number of things in the technology and the building sector, which is complex. And I must say this is one of the most complex projects I've been working with. So I will try to explain what we are doing, our partnership, and how is the project progressing so far. So as Katerina mentioned, our project is InEExS, Innovative Energy Efficiency Service Models, using, let's say, DLT, so blockchain. And this is linked to service project in the LIFE program. And we are here working with a number of let's say, experts and organizations, both in the business models, but also implementing in the field specific projects that I'm going to explain in a few minutes. Okay, so first of all, which are the specific objectives of this project? One of them, or one of the first important objectives, is to demonstrate how blockchain can be used to support smart energy services. So that is one of the first challenges, because blockchain is not such a well-known in practice platform and technology. And in fact, one of the first points to solve in this project was to define which kind of platform, blockchain platform, and how we could use this platform for the specific smart energy service. The second point is, in fact, the own smart energy services, which are initially defined in the project, but then when you go into detail, also these innovative smart services are difficult to implement in the field, because there are always a number of actors participating in these services, and it's not always easy to cooperate with all of them. So that's the next point, is the cooperation among the market segments and actors. This means that sometimes the people working in blockchain in technologies are not fully experts on the energy sector, and also the opposite. Sometimes we people working in the energy sector don't really know in detail how blockchain works, and also how to integrate blockchain in the energy sector and energy projects. But if this was not enough difficult, then we put something else in the project, which was also to support the obligated parties of the Article 7 of the Energy Efficiency Directive, which in summary is to support the energy efficiency schemes, which means that the European countries, have to implement energy efficiency schemes for specific organizations, basically retail, energy and fossil fuel products companies. So they have to promote energy efficiency, which means that they at the same time they sell energy or sell oil products, and then they have to promote energy efficiency so they reduce the CO2 emissions. So we have mixed all this, blockchain, smart energy service, and the obligated parties, and this was the start of the project, and now we will see the progress. So the specific tasks and activities we are doing is, first of all, to aggregate all these needs and objectives of the project, and design the business models for each one of the project pilots, or for each one of the services. I will detail them in the next slide. But basically, the first thing we have to do is to prepare business models which make this to be viable. Sometimes we focus very much on the technical viability or economic, but there are other issues that we have to face, like which stakeholders are important, or the financing, or the fulfillment of the regulation. In fact, we have in this project one legal and regulatory expert as partner, which has been supporting all the issues related to contracts and fulfilling the regulation in the different countries. Just to make a comment here, it's not so easy to understand in all the European countries how blockchain works and what is the regulation when you use blockchain in energy. For example, in my country, in Spain, we have information from the smart meters, from the people, from the homes, or from the industries. And this is regulated by the electric system. and you can, or specific parties can use this data for specific things, like for billing or other things. But it's not so clear if you can use blockchain to get data from the smart meter and use it in a blockchain platform, for example. You can do it, but you have to really know how to do it and to fulfill the regulation. And basically, this has to do a lot with the data protection from the users. So all these regulatory and legal issues is one of the, I would say, one of the critical issues that we are solving in this project, among others. So first point is to really design business models that can fulfill technical, economic, legal, etc., all the needs of the different services. Then, when we define these business models and also the pilot projects are designed according to the business models, then we pilot them in the field. We have not started this step yet. We are, let's say, in the process of starting it, but this is the second step. And also, at the same time, we have to provide capacity building and also communication and replication activities. We are all working on this because, as we mentioned, this is not a very well-known technology, the blockchain and smart services altogether. So it's quite important to provide training and capacity building, and also, once we have the pilots developed, to be able to explain to other European actors how to implement this in their countries. These are the 5 different energy efficiency services and pilots that we are developing in ENEExS. As you can see, they are very different. That is another challenge of the project. We are not doing like 5 similar pilots in 5 countries, but we are doing 5 very different pilots in 5 countries, 5 business models in 5 countries. One of them is related to energy performance contracting in residential buildings in Germany, and this is led by the Berlin Energy Agency. The second one is related to energy communities and energy cooperatives, and this pilot is developed in Spain, in the area of close to Valencia, in Crevillent. The third one is developed in Greece and is related to small gas boilers in the buildings of flats, so to improve their efficiency. The fourth one is related to the use of EV chargers and the use of heating, cooling, and ventilation in Nordic countries. So this is led by a Finnish partner and developing a pilot in Sweden. And the last one is a more conceptual issue and is related to the decentralized energy efficiency power plant. So as you can see, the pilots are really different and the scopes also are very, very different. It's not the same working, for example, in the first pilot in residential building in Germany with energy performance contracting, so with some kind of ESCO companies, than working in energy communities in Spain with people and supporting PV installations and self-consumption. So it's absolutely different. And this is is causing a lot of need to work in detail on all this and the blockchain issue. And then this will be the picture of our project. So we have a centralized blockchain platform, which is developed by one of the partners of the project, EnergyWeb. And this is another important point I didn't mention before, is that we are using a common blockchain platform. So all the pilots are in different countries and different scopes, but the blockchain platform is the same. And the reason is that we want to test also the blockchain platform, how it works, and the performance of the platform using different data, origins of data, and using different, let's say, data for the users. The way this works is basically, in a very simplified way, is that we get information from different pilots. So we get information, for example, from the buildings in Germany, from the buildings meters or sensors, and also they have solar PV inverters, which provide information. And this information goes into the blockchain platform, similar to the smart meters and PV for the second service, for the energy cooperative or the energy community. And we provide this information also to the blockchain platform, to the center. And the same goes from the boilers in Greece, the business case 3, and from the information from the Nordic countries in the BC4. So all this information that you see here, all the sensor and smart meters and sometimes aggregated data provided by the own data producer, let's say, are captured and they are sent to the blockchain platform. And then In the center, in the blockchain platform, we use different algorithms and different calculations. And with this optimization, of course, these calculations are organized and agreed between the blockchain platform and the different business case leaders, because we, the business case leaders, know what we want to get, and the blockchain platform knows how to calculate, let's say, and how to develop this in the blockchain way. So we send all the information here, then there are calculations, and somehow these calculations and preparation of data are so-called smart contracts generator. So we tokenize the information, we let's say, put this in blockchain, and then we prepare the product of the blockchain, which are the smart contracts generator, and then we send this smart contract and these results again to the different business cases original. So it's a complex system because, first of all, we need to integrate the information from the different business cases into the blockchain platform. This is not solved initially, so we have to see how to integrate this. We need to know where is the information and the data of the different business cases. For example, in the business case of Spain, in the energy community, these are basically in the smart meters and in the inverters of the solar PV. But this information doesn't go directly to the blockchain platform. It goes first into the system of the cooperative. So the cooperative has an IT system where all the data are managed. And then from the IT system of this organization, it goes to the blockchain platform. And this is similar somehow in the different business cases. So we have data, then the platforms of the business cases, the platform of the cooperative or the ESCO company or whoever, then they have to put this in, they have to translate it into the, let's say, into the language of the blockchain platform and send it to the blockchain platform. This is the integration. And then the opposite. Then imagine we calculate, for example, for the energy community that we send information on the production of solar PV and also on the use of the energy of the homes. And then when we go to the blockchain platform, it is optimized when the homes should use the energy from the solar PV. So let's say we try to make them to change the consumption pattern, to change the behavior of the families, and they use the energy at the time of the solar PV. All this is optimized in the blockchain platform, and we send a signal to the people, to the families, hey, if you use this energy, let's say at 11 or 12 p.m. instead of in the morning or in the, very late in the night when there is no solar, then you get some benefit for you. So to do this, we need to give back information from the blockchain platform. For example, in the specific case, and to be, I think, more precise and you understand better this, we send it, for example, to the smartphone. So there's an app in the smartphone of the energy community, and they receive signals and information so they understand exactly when they should use the energy and also what benefit they get if they change the use of the energy. This is quite similar somehow to all the different business cases. I don't have time to enter into detail, but you can imagine that in the first one is also to better use the energy and to be more efficient in the case of the use of the energy in real estate, in the apartments or buildings. In the case of the BC3 in Greece is to improve the use of the gas heaters. So that means that the blockchain platform calculates how to start and so switch on and off the boilers, meaning that if you switch on and off very frequently, this is ineffective and this is very bad efficiency, let's say. But if you smoothly move the regulation of the gas boiler, then this is improved. So this is the case of BC3, and BC4 is the optimization of all the electric devices, EV charger, heat pumps, and solar PV production here. But also, in this case, is linked, which is also something interesting, to the price of the energy in the market. So they know what will be the price of the energy in the market, and they also optimize this, for example, for charging the cars. So they adjust the chargers so they send the energy to the car at the time is less costly for the user. So you can see here, the potential of this is very wide, but at the same time, we need to test and really to prepare all this to be real in the field, let's say, when you apply it in the field. And basically, this is a consortium. This is a presentation. This is the consortium, and we have, as I mentioned, different specialties. We have more technical partners like Intua or office or scan. Also, we have the implementers in the field, like ENERGATE, or which is the energy cooperative, or Heron, which is a Greek retail company and DSO, or we have Hiven, which is in Finland. But also we have Verde Legal, which is legal expert, or Energy West, which is with InLecom, which are the experts of DLT and blockchain platforms. So I think it's also very important, the consortium, that we have all the expertise. Of course, the other ones, the same, they provide each one of them a different expertise, and we can really fulfill our aims. And this is my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Francisco, for the detailed and simply explained, I would say, presentation. You had, let's say, to explain us something that is very complicated, and you did it in a few clear words. And yeah, I say that there is a very demanding project, but I guess that this is why it is, let's say, successful, because it will try to engage a lot of different kind of stakeholders and close this communication gap that exists. Okay, thank you very much for this presentation. And let me again share my screen and move forward to the next presentation. So our next and last presentation will be delivered by Mr. Kostas Panagopoulos, who is an electrical and computer engineer. He is working for European Dynamics, and he has experience as project manager in R&D projects, software engineering, and computer system validation. And Kostas is going to present us the FORTESIE project, which is related to smart performance contracts for efficiency, sustainable, inclusive energy use. Kostas, the floor is yours. You can share your screen.
Hello. I will share my screen. If you can hear me well and see my screen, I can start.
Everything is perfect. Yeah, you can start. Thank you.
Hello, I am Kostas from European Dynamics and glad to be here with you today. I would also like to thank Katerina and the team for the organization of this webinar. Let's see FORTESIE. FORTESIE refers to central bank digital currency powered smart performance contracts for efficient, sustainable, and inclusive energy use. Today, we will start with project info and renovation value chain description. We will continue with challenges, objectives, as well as innovations and the reference architecture defined. FORTESIE has a duration of 36 months. Its consortium consists of 26 partners, and European Dynamics Luxembourg acts as the coordinator. A renovation value chain includes energy service companies and associations, representatives from construction and renovation sector, decision makers, energy cooperatives, as well as the relevant investors. Of course, one-stop shops and social sciences and humanities are included. Digital service providers participate so that they support and service the relevant needs of the building owners. What are the challenges of FORTESIE project? We need to meet the goal of 3% per year for renovation wave by 2030. Climate change is very critical, and we need to face the lack of trust and uncertainty of people about performance improvements for energy. Of course, monetary incentives need to be provided, and the public needs to be aware so that large investments are feasible. Concerning the objectives of FORTESIE, we need to mention that we have innovative digital technologies included that are gamified mobile application and green euro application, recommendation engine that is based on behavioral model and of course the analytics component, as well as blockchain, which provides trust for energy smart contracts. According to each pilot needs, we provide energy performance contract packages which include both digital technologies and the relevant renovation technologies, according to the guarantees of each pilot. We need to mention that we have 7 real-life demonstrations in 6 countries, and at least 10 ASEAN behavioral KPIs will be evaluated and improved. Let's see an overview of the pilots. We have a public swimming pool in Poland, an exemplary public school in Latvia, where we want energy efficiency, which is feasible with improved air quality and the proper management of heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems. Also, we have households in France, Spain, and Portugal, some of which are energy poverty households, which means that they have no electricity at all, and some others are prosumers' homes. For the building of digital governance ministry in Greece, we need to provide a sustainable and efficient workplace for the employees. Of course, the exemplary Museum of Hellenism and Philhellenism in Athens provides an example for energy efficiency with comfortable and green roof at the top of the building. Beyond the objectives, new business models are in the process of definition so that they serve packages that can be immediately taken up in market. In order to boost renovation wave, through FORTESIE, an online network of one-stop shop is provided. We also want replication to be feasible so that roadmaps are adopted in each partner country by the relevant energy service company association. Financing incentives will be adopted, and of course, dissemination channels will be used. So for the objectives of FORTESIE, apart from digital and renovation technologies that serve the needs of each pilot, we provide energy performance contract packages through new business models in order to boost renovation wave with performance guarantees. What are the innovations of FORTESIE project? There is a green euro application where all the green euro rewardings are visualized according to the energy efficiency actions of the end users in households and in general in the buildings. Of course, crowdfunding, innovative, is available to be lent for the users. Concerning the one-stop shop marketplace, we need to mention that it eliminates geographic barriers. It is a central repository with best practices where consumers and building owners can find renovation suppliers. Therefore, an ecosystem is created with local actors, building owners, and households. Renovation packages and tailored business models are provided through FORTESIE. A portfolio of innovative building renovation technologies is available. These renovation technologies include state-of-the-art construction materials and technologies with digitization solutions. Of course, the innovative collaborative business models are available for financing and boost Asia investments. Smart contracts. Smart contracts provide electronic contracting of both energy and non-energy actors. They include the terms of contract, the roles of investors, and their contribution. Therefore, all the terms and guarantees are agreed, and there is periodic visualization at a monthly base for bonus-malus and energy consumption results for customers based on the energy service company's rules. Of course, blockchain technology provides trustworthy for the calculation of the achieved performance improvements. The gamified mobile application provides all the visualization of consumption and the reporting for energy savings. So challenges, recommendations, and notifications are available through the relevant menus, and badges are provided as rewardings to the end users based on their actions and the achieved energy consumption. So the FORTESIE reference architecture, as mentioned, includes all the relevant data which are visualized in mobile application. So all the measurements of buildings and the relevant sensors are fetched through the relevant data consuming applications. These measurements are processed by analytics component, which is based on behavioral model and recommendation engine. And of course, all this information, as well as the energy performance contract terms, are provided to this mobile application, and the end user can have visualization for all this information so that the trust is ensured. We're very glad to be part of this consortium, which consists of 26 partners, all of which have experience in their sector. Of course, you can learn more about FORTESIE through our website and social media. And of course, you can have a very quick scan of this QR code to have FORTESIE news. Thank you very much for your attention.
Thank you very much, Kostas, for the nice presentation. I see that FORTESIE is somehow in the middle of the other two projects, since you have common issues with both InEExS and ENERGATE. On the one hand, you're also handling issues related to the visualization of the consumption and the reporting and all this stuff. And on the other hand, you're also you have also activities related to the financing part of the energy efficiency. Thank you very much for this nice presentation and for the slides that are visualizing things related to all the applications that you are developing. Now we're moving to the next part of our event, which is, of course, the panel discussion. So I can share again my screen in order to, sorry. So we are, no, we're not here. Sorry. I need to find the right slide. I don't see any question in the chat. So I would like to invite you. Yeah, here is the right slide for the panel discussion. So I don't see any question in the chat. So maybe we can somehow start discussing for several things that have been already mentioned in order to, let's say, go deeper to the different kind of aspects that its project covers. Let me ask the first question. So I would like to ask you about the opportunities that you think that can be emerging in order to integrate those innovative technologies in the energy service. So what kind of opportunities are you foreseeing through the service and the technologies that are exploited in your projects? I don't know who would like to start. Maybe Joanna?
I can start, yes. So as we all know, there is an urgent need to reduce energy consumption, and there is a need to increase renovation rates in this context. So various technologies can assist this process. First of all, since there are various market actors involved in all those processes, not only technical teams, engineers, energy service companies, there are also financial stakeholders, and there is a need for the exploitation of innovative technologies to create user-friendly tools that can bridge the gap between the two sides and enable matchmaking between the various involved parties in the energy efficiency value chain. I don't know if anyone wants to add something about this, Francisco or Costas.
Yeah, okay. About the emerging technologies, for us, the blockchain clearly is very, I would say, innovative. We know we have been hearing about blockchain for many years, I would say, at least me. I remember saying that hydrogen and other technologies that are arising in the market for many years, but I would say that the project we are developing now, I would say we are allowed to demonstrate in real life how this can work. Also the barriers, because it's not a simple thing. I think we all know that this kind of technologies and integration in the different services is not an easy thing, but to demonstrate that this can be used for energy efficiency, for renewable energies, also for different stakeholders like ESCOs or energy cooperatives, or even retail companies that sell gas boilers for homes. So I think it's this at the same time demonstrate the use of blockchain, but also to integrate in real pilots in the field on different services.
Mm-hmm. And when it comes to blockchain, it is also a very effective technology when it comes to monitoring and verification, because it's also able to provide incentives for the end clients to deliver energy savings through, for example, tokenization of savings and let's say a translation of the savings in a digital currency. And another thing that is also an opportunity to integrate innovative technologies, especially when it comes to energy efficiency buildings, is the fact that there are various data sets containing information on already implemented projects, and from them we could extract information on best practices and what has been implemented or what has been successful in the past. So it's an opportunity to use advanced data analysis techniques and machine learning techniques to extract this information.
Yes, exactly.
And also,
yeah, Kostas, I would like just to give the floor to you, because I know that you are providing also incentives through your project, and you're using also the blockchain, and I'm sure that you have identified both opportunities but also challenges through using this kind of technology.
correct. And as I described in the architecture of FORTESIE, we incorporate such technologies, digital technologies for energy services. And the components are blockchain for energy smart contract with guarantees, which can be derived by actual and verified measurements in a variety of buildings by providing standardized monitoring and verification. So in the relevant applications, we visualize this information, and along with blockchain transactions, we provide trustworthy, which can be ensured.
So, and in terms of difficulties for adopting those kind of tools, do you have identified any major challenges? I have heard about the blockchain issues, or the legal and ethical issues, or the data-related issues and all this stuff. So, how do you let's say mitigate those risks that you have identified in your projects? If you have any proposal for the new projects? Yeah, Kostas, yeah, you can continue. You can start, and yeah.
Yeah, we as aim for this project, we have to use standardized technologies, which can help us to implement such solutions based on the needs of the relevant pilots. So we include the open management of energy performance contract as exposing this logic of the system to the actors. So these interfaces incorporate a variety of data usage control policies, depending, of course, on the shareable datasets and the role of actors. Thus, it is ensured that with this technological interoperability, trust and sovereignty for data is feasible.
And Ioanna, have you faced
so
any challenge?
When it comes to blockchain, depending on the type of blockchain and the platform that is used, there might be several issues related to the technical constraints, such as blockchain scalability, performance, as well as security threats. So it always needs to be highlighted that blockchain is not, let's say, a solution for all of the for all energy services. It should be very carefully designed, and the deployment must be carefully planned so as to ensure that it is truly beneficial. And when it comes to other technologies such as machine learning and analytics, the most important difficulty, the challenge, is the fact that although there are several datasets that could provide very useful information, unstandardized, and we often deal with very unstructured and unhomogenized data from different sources. I don't know if this is something that you also see in the other two projects, Costas and Francisco.
Well, in the InEExS project, I think we see this, of course. Yes, clearly we are in line with you, and yes, we see this. I think one of the important points, as Katerina also asked about which were the barriers, or what are the process to improve in the future. This, I would say, one of the important points we learned is that, of course, in these research or demonstrative projects we are developing, at the start that we write the proposal, and when we write the technologies that we are going to use, let's say it's complex to write it, but at the same time you can do it, let's say, and you can prepare a good proposal. At the time you are going to implement this in the field, there is a need to assess and analyze very well how you would implement this in the field. When we discuss about blockchain, there are not so many commercial or working blockchain platforms that are working in the energy sector. So there are others for the public sector, for other issues, for banks, for cryptocurrency, but not so many for real platforms, blockchain platforms for the energy sector. And if we go to the experience in the energy services and energy efficiency, I would say it's almost none. I mean, there is almost nothing in that. So that, I think, one of the important points is in the next phase we will develop probably is to assess very well the platform and how to integrate the data from the region to the platform, and how we would do the sending of the data to the back, let's say, to the business cases. I think that is probably one of the most challenging issues, and see how the platform works and which is the good platform, the right platform for the different situations, which may vary, and the need of these experts to integrate the platform and the services. I think this could be probably in the technical side, the critical points. And of course, the ethical issues and the data protection and all this that we are discussing as well, of course, is very, very relevant.
Yeah, of course, it's not only about the technical constraints, but for example, the social acceptance of the service is also very important. For example, when it comes to our project, we see that some of the involved parties might be hesitant to adopt technologies because of their concerns related to the data collection and how comfortable they feel using ICT-enabled services, any legal vacancies that they're not sure of. So this is also an important challenge that needs to be faced.
Yeah. We have a hand raised, Esther Hardy from ICP. Hi, Esther.
Hi. Thank you for your presentation. Yes, Ioana and Kostas, if you talk about the social acceptance, in 2016, I made a platform here in the Netherlands to sell or to make available renewable gases to the MKB, to the small and medium enterprises, but also to the customers. But one of the problem was, and we had to change that, was the blockchain part, because they find that so intransparent. So we had to take that out. It was in 2016, so maybe things has been changed. But how is the social acceptance about blockchain in energy platforms at the moment? Do you have a view about that?
Yeah, I don't know, Johanna, I'm sure that Francisco has experience from the InEExS because all the pilot have
as
some
far as
issues.
I'm concerned, because I'm also involved in ENERGATE apart from ENERGATE, but I don't see so much the actual implementation, but more the research behind this. There's a very increased interest in the application of blockchain in various fields from the point of view of researchers, and there are many publications in the last years in this domain. And yes, from our research and also from an evaluation that we conducted in National Technical University of Athens, we see that the concerns about the legal vacancies when it comes to blockchain adoption is the most important barrier of its widespread adoption in energy services. And I'm sure Francisco has more practical experiences on this.
Yeah, but I agree with you, Joanna. I think this is one of the key issues for these developments, the concerns. And I think also, and happens to other technologies, is the lack of understanding on how it works. So I don't think people really know. I mean, we speak about blockchains, but if we ask any one of us what is blockchain,
Exactly,
probably we'll give very different definitions. And if we go in a bit of detail, probably not all of us know about what is blockchain and how it works, and also, in fact, there is some hidden information, or somehow it is not not everything is let's say presented on blockchain, because the data is collected and is sent to specific places that we don't know where they are. So we are trusting the trust of this information, and the trust of the repositories of data, etc., is not fully known in blockchain. So we have to trust somehow we have to trust about the ones that are managing the blockchain. On the side, we don't know exactly all about blockchain. And of course, another thing issue very relevant is the data management in the future, because when you provide this data to the blockchain, well, we have to trust that this data will be used for the purpose that is expected and not for something else. And if we just watch what's happening in the USA about the data, and particularly with the European data, they have different data protection laws, and the data of Europeans are running around the world without our consent, because their rules, the regulation is different. So I would say this is another concern. What is going to be done with our data in the future when we use blockchain platforms and other DLT platforms?
And I don't know, Kostas, you would like to add something, or Esther?
Yes, I also agree with the presenters. Transparency management needs to be ensured so that all involved actors have the trust on this. It's a very important factor. And through standardized estimation of savings, we think this technological barrier can be faced. But we have also to take into consideration legal and ethical aspects, of course.
Yeah. Esther, do you have any additional comment or question? Happy to hear from you.
Now, I'm thinking because blockchain is not in a platform technology. It's not often necessary to use. So what actually we did in the form in 2016, we took it out to make sure that the connection could be made, and at least to take that skepticism away, because it was too much newness. So yeah, for the adaptation, we took that away. It's a pity, but yeah, I understand. It's exactly what Francisco said. People don't know much about it, so they prefer a PayPal or another way of billing than something new.
But I understand now that because it has a lot of positive aspects, blockchain, we try now to explore through those EU research projects, to explore how we can take advantage of those opportunities that blockchain can offer to us. So I guess that this is under exploitation. And what I would like to ask is that I understand that you are involving very different kind of actors in your projects, but all of them need somehow to collaborate, or need to somehow to communicate, and you need through the projects and the technologies that you provide to close these gaps. So I'm sure that, and I know that in your project you have some kind of consultation processes in order to bring together all these stakeholders. And I would like just to hear from you, what kind of actions do you take in order to close those gaps, and what kind of feedback do you have received from your from the stakeholders about your, let's say, your projects and your services? Because I guess that it's very perfect, the service that you provide, but in real cases, how this will be exploitable and will be, let's say, adopted. Do you have any feedback that you would like to discuss, or your experiences in general?
Oh, you ask me? Yeah.
No, I'm asking the presenters to share their experience from their interactions with the stakeholders. Who's Jana?
Yeah, so in our case, because we haven't officially launched the ENERGATE platform yet for the public to use, we have some preliminary feedback, but I think that we will have much more interesting results once the platform is actually deployed. But yeah, from an initial feedback, we see that indeed the services that we're trying to provide are very interesting, in particular the matchmaking between the projects and the financiers, because of the challenges they face, and it is very, this process is very, let's say, it facilitates them. Because instead of going through a lot of reviews, of evaluation of projects, they can evaluate them more automatically, and they're all in the same structure. They all have the same information entries that describe the energy efficiency project. So yeah, this early stage of the evaluation of the investment, I think that is very helpful for them. And also we will see how our other services will be exploited. For example, in theory, the process of the aggregation of projects, which is grouping of similar projects to create bigger financeable packages, seems very interesting to our stakeholders, and they want to test it. But yeah, I think that in the real deployment of the platform, we'll see if this is successful and if this truly manages to overcome the barriers that the stakeholders are now facing.
And Francisco, your experience from stakeholders?
Yes. With the stakeholders, I mean, we are now in the half of the project of InEExS project, and the experience with the stakeholders has been more at this point, or from now to the start of the project, more a co-creative process, I would say, or more a process of exchange of knowledge. I think we don't have yet enough results for, let's say, start the replication, let's say, in other spaces, because we need some conclusions first from our pilots. So I would say that there is a lot of expectation. I think all the stakeholders that we ask to participate in this project, they are wishing to do it. But we are a bit cautious now, and we are waiting a little bit to have some more results to be able to really present good results to them. And the reason is that this is a very new, I would say, new market or new service market, service on blockchain issue. If we go, let's say, fast, and we present, let's say we don't present results, or we present something that changes in 1 year, for example, that we have, or 6 months, we'll have results in the field, and maybe we reduce the interest if we don't provide good information. So we prefer to prepare the projects. The business cases are to be finished by summertime. The pilots should be delivering results also after summer, and then after summer start with the replication, preparing good documents and good information for the replicators, and also having conclusions on what works, what doesn't work, and what can be implemented in the field, let's say in 2025, or what cannot be implemented so well, or what needs to be further developed. So we are, let's say, in this middle of the project with this with this more I would say co-creative project and co-creation project with the stakeholders.
So, and Kostas, are you planning, you have strategy for involving your stakeholders, or do you have already done something and have any feedback?
Yes, we have already involved our stakeholders. So we have gathered the requirements for each target group, for each pilot. We have defined all these stakeholders and target groups. So after having collected the requirements, we have defined the relevant services which cover these requirements. And based on these services, we have defined the relevant digital components which constitute the FORTESIE architecture described. So we have different digital components which interact with each other, and we want these components and the relevant visualizations to include all the needed information, both for energy service companies and customers, so that there is a contractual agreement. For example, we include all energy smart contract details and terms. Thus, the target for energy performance improvements are specified, and when they are met, the rewardings can be qualified. And this is from the technical perspective. Also, from the business perspective, we have defined updated business models based on this information gathered.
So we have some minutes before the ending of this event, and I have one more question, mainly related to the other side, the side of the financiers, of the investors, because I know that the renovation rates of the buildings are low because there lack of investment, lack of, let's say, communication between between the building side and the investment side. I've heard that most of you, or at least FORTESIE and ENERGATE are dealing with the financing side. So I would like to ask if you have identified, I'm sure that you have identified barriers for the investments in buildings and potential, let's say, approaches for accelerating the financing of the sustainable building renovations. Who's first?
Yeah, so I think I've already mentioned quite a few of them also in the presentation. There is lack of standardization, perceived risk on the investments, but I think that one issue that ENERGATE particularly focuses on is the fact that financiers or investors in general might not be interested in investing in energy efficiency projects because they are not particularly big investments, let's say. So they have to go through the whole due diligence process, which is a lengthy process, and maybe it's they think that it's not worth doing this if the project is small, although it might be a very good project in terms of financial returns, in terms of impact, environmental impact, of energy savings, or even of social impact. And so the way we try to address this issue in ENERGATE is through the aggregation methodology. So let me explain how this methodology works in more detail. The investor can decide which aspects of the projects may be similar in order to aggregate them in a single cluster of projects. So, for example, they can be projects in the same location with the same energy efficiency measures, or even projects executed by the same technical team. And this creates a more attractive investment because it's a package of energy efficiency projects, and it is more it is better for them to and it is more encouraging for them to engage in such projects that are that will generate more cost savings instead of focusing on smaller individual projects.
Mm-hmm. And Kostas, I saw that you are dealing with crowdfunding, and this is kind of innovative, let's say, approach for financing. Don't know, what is your experience with this?
Yes, it's indeed it is very important to focus on the financing side. In FORTESIE, we explore different financing mechanisms, as you mentioned, for green renovations and their combination with alternative financing schemes and based on energy performance contract with the relevant guarantees. It is important to ensure affordable payback times and present the added value of the investments from the financial point of view. This will intensify the end users to take investment decisions and finance them partly with monetary rewards, green euros, or crowdfunding loans. Of course, there are challenges. The barrier to convince and democratize this complex issue to large scale or to promote trust for smart wallet, as well as the challenge to train people in these services. And for this reason, further evidence and dissemination campaigns are needed to promote these results for the mass public, which is not specific expertise in these aspects.
Yeah, exactly. Capacity building and dissemination is always an aspect that we cannot and we should not avoid. Okay, I don't know.
So about
Yes.
crowdfunding, it also touches upon the barrier that I described, because it is as an innovative method of financing. It can be very useful for smaller energy efficiency projects that can't find finance through more traditional mechanisms, let's say, financing mechanisms.
Okay. Since we have some minutes before wrapping up the event, I don't know if anyone from the audience would like to add or ask anything, or the speakers would like to comment more on something. I will prepare myself with the ending slide, and yeah, just give me a second to share my screen. Okay, here we are. Now, can you? Oh, sorry. Can you all see the screen, right? So since we don't have any other comment, I would like to summarize some things that were discussed today, and according to my notes, and there is a need for effective monitoring and verification for providing incentives for the end clients in order to deliver energy savings. So in order to accelerate the energy efficiency in buildings, technologies such as blockchain can help in this process. However, some of the involved parties might be hesitant to adopt technologies because there are different, let's say, difficulties or legal vacancies or other concerns that are related to data. So as we discussed, when it comes to blockchain in general, trustworthy is ensured in the transaction, but there might be issues related to technical constraints such as blockchain scalability and performance, or depending on the type of the platform. There are opportunities, since there are various data sets and we could extract best practices based on what has been implemented successfully in the past, and we can analyze them through advanced data analysis, machine learning techniques, etc. And in terms of the investment part, the main barrier that keeps those renovation rates low is the lack of investments in energy efficiency. There are several barriers, let's say, lack of standardization, the fact that several projects are small, as Ioana mentioned, and the procedures for the due diligence are lengthy. And of course, there is knowledge and communication gap between the different parties that are involved in the process. So tools for supporting decision-making are very important. Aggregation of projects might be a solution, matchmaking tools might be solutions, and investment opportunities such as crowdfunding might have a huge potential, but of course it needs to be promoted, all of them, further in the context of energy projects and disseminated. If I'm not wrong, I saw a hand raised. We have kind of 1-2 minutes or not?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello from my side.
Hi.
I just
Hi,
wanted to
Vasilis.
mention something about the blockchain, and one of the main challenges that I didn't hear anyone mention it is that many blockchain companies focused on landing their cryptocurrency in order to gain acknowledgement and go into the trading platforms and just use them in order for them to gain profits, and not to be helpful or to see for the future, for example, or to launch a blockchain or a cryptocurrency that will help the real world problem. So the main challenge of this is that many people don't trust blockchain as for the real solving problems, but they just put their money on just in the trading platforms to have bigger profits. So this is something that all of us need to investigate and bring back the trust again into this technology.
Very important comment. Thank you, Vasilis. I don't know if anyone from the panelists would like to comment. We have two minutes before the end, or yeah, I cannot see your face because I'm sharing my screen. So if we don't have any comment, I will just say thank you very much for your participation. As previously mentioned, we will share the presentation. We will share the video recording in a couple of weeks, and we will be very glad to let's say to invite you to see the social media of each project, to get in contact with us, and discuss on potential, let's say, collaboration and all this stuff that were mentioned. Francisco, did you raise your hand?
By mistake, sorry.
By mistake. Okay, perfect. So thank you very much for your participation, and we will be in touch in other events, I'm sure. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ioana, Kostas, Francisco.
Thank you.
Goodbye. Have a nice day.
Bye.